What's going on, guys? Thank you for stopping back by the channel. You're at W&W Mods, and in case you haven't been here in a while, my name is Will. Today we're going to be working on the Camaro SS right here. We're going to be reinstalling some parts that we had to take off to have some work done at the dealership on the Camaro, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But we're going to take off the stock intake and replace it with the K&N cold air intake, and we're going to reinstall our oil catch can from Mishimoto. So guys, thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoy the video. See you in a minute. All right, guys, the reason we are reinstalling the cold air intake in the Mishimoto oil catch can is because a couple of weeks ago we had a little problem with the Camaro. I, like a dummy, run some, I guess what you call racing fuel. It was 112 octane, and what it did, it burned up one of my cats. So we had to take it back to the Chevrolet dealership, and in order for them to honor the warranty and fix it, so I didn't have to pay for it out of my pocket, I had to put it back stock and then carry it back over there. So we're going to be taking the regular intake out again today and putting the oil catch can back on. So guys, we've already got the K&N air filter assembled. We'll be putting it back into place, and the oil catch can is right here, and it's from Mishimoto. And the reason I went with this, this is a pretty good oil catch can, does a great job, but the reason I really went with that is because of these quick release plug-ins that you can get that comes with this kit, and the hoses are pre-cut for this particular car, so I didn't have to cut anything. All I had to do was put it together. So guys, let's get it installed. All right, we're gonna do the cold air intake first and take off the stock one. So I've already taken the Allen screws out of his. This is the mass flow air sensor. You need to kind of like bring it out and try not to damage it in any way, and set it off to the side. Like I say, there's two Allen screws right here, and you take those off. And then here we're gonna take this loose, and this has a quick release on it. You just push and it pops loose. We're gonna have to take this off and then this whole piece is gonna pull out. We've got to get this loose here too. So I'm gonna get a pair of pliers and a flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna take that off. Okay. All right, as far as this piece right here goes, if you take this off right here, okay, you take this off right here. You don't need to take this screw and clamp off. All you gotta do is loosen this one right here, and it'll come off. And a flat blade screwdriver works just fine. Just loosen it up like so. The hardest part is getting these clips to turn loose. All right, this little pinch clamp right here, you get your pair of pliers, and the easiest way to do is just work it off. There we go. You can leave that piece installed, and then this may come out on its own, and it does. This little piece, you can just pull it off, unhook this, pull this loose. Now this is held together by some plugs, and usually you can just grab it by the sides and pop it loose. Be careful, don't knock your airflow sensor around. And the whole unit will lift out like so. One other thing that we've got to take off is this piece right here. All this does, if you can see this hose, it runs back up into the firewall. All this does is pump sound back into the cabin of the car to give you that, so you get some engine sound. In actuality, it's useless. It's just a gimmick thing that Chevrolet does to give you some sound inside the car. And we're gonna take this off. See, that's all it is. This little baffle piece, you can just leave it, which I did. I just left it in place, or you can take it off. But I chose to leave it, because if you take it off, you're going to have to remove these big Allen screws here, pull it off, take the clips off, and then there's another big clamp up there at the firewall. It's not going to hurt it to leave it here, so we're going to leave it there. Now, this did not come pre-assembled, so first thing we're going to do is drop it down and get it into place like so. And this has two bands. I'll loosen this one, and I'm going to slide it up like this. And I'm going to tighten this down pretty good, because you don't want it leaking air or coming loose. It's good and tight. And what I did, I like to have two bands on it, so I have two. One for where it plugs into the intake, and the other where it hooks into the actual intake tube. All right, remember we took this piece off earlier, this piece here. All you have to do is take it, push it right back down on there, clamps into place. Now, we're going to take our Allen screws out. Try to be careful not to drop them, because if you drop them, it's very hard to find them that actually fit. I actually, when my kit came from K&N, it was missing the Allen screws, and your stock Allen screws from Chevrolet do not fit the K&N intake. So I had to reach out to K&N, and they were nice enough to overnight me these two screws, because they had been left out of the kit. So hats off to them as far as getting it to me really quick. All right, because you can't run this car without the mass airflow sensor. Slide the sensor back in, and then we're going to take and we're going to screw the screws back. There's one on the bottom side. I'm not sure if I've got the right size here for this. I did not, so let me see what size this is going to be. You're right to start with. There we go, that'll work, I believe. All right, cut that. This one is always difficult because the airflow sensor gets in the way of my tool here. It'd be great if I had some freestanding Allen wrenches, but all my Allen wrenches are inside this little nice little thing for convenience. But sometimes convenience is impractical for all applications. There we go. Let's see if we can get this one a little tighter. All right, make sure you push down all of these here. They just plop right in, and there's 3 of them, and that sits just like so. As you can see, we got the mass airflow sensor back in. We've got all of our clamps tight, and we've got the I guess this is some of the smog system off the PVC. I'm not exactly sure, but we've got that reconnected. And as you can see, the piece that was there to pump the sound back into the cabin, it really doesn't matter. You don't even really see it down there. So unless you want to go through a big headache and take that completely off, you're more than welcome to, but like I say, I chose not to. So we have already installed the clamp. I didn't take this off when I carried it back to the Chevrolet place. So the clamp provided by Mishimoto for the oil catch can is still in place. And these are what, half inch screws. They came already connected to the car in this bracket. You just screw these 2 off, and the bracket fits right in there, and you just tighten them back up, and you're good to go. So we're going to take this cover off right here, and we're going to be going down here and removing those 2 hoses to hook up the catch can. All right, some of you can do it with this in place, but I prefer not to. I just like to loosen it up just a little bit and slide it a little bit right there out of the way so I can see the hoses. And as you can see, this comes out of the engine and goes up into your air intake, so it reburns any oil that it has. But the reason we're putting this oil catch can on is to catch all that in that can, all that oil that's going to go blowing back into your intake. Because over time, as you do that, you're going to get carbon buildup in your intake, on your valves, on the top of your valves, and inside the intake chamber. So this oil catch can will eliminate that buildup. This is part of the emission system that they put on cars nowadays. So we're going to take this off and put on the catch can. So you just about can reach your hand down in here. You got to do it when the car is cold, and you got to push in on this clamp here. I don't know if you can see it from the angle that we are at. Let's see. Try to take the one from the top out first. All right, look right down here where I'm at. You can see that. You can push in on that and pull that off like so. Then you can turn that around, and then right down here at the bottom is this other piece that you've got to push in with your finger. If I can get my hand in there. My hand's a little big. Let me reposition. There we go. As you can see, this is all there is to it. I do recommend keeping this though, in case you ever take your oil catch can off, because they're rather expensive if you have to buy them from Chevrolet. And all it is a bent hose. Now, as you can see, that's where the oil comes out. And then right up here in the very top, you probably can't see it because there's not enough light, but there's another little connection right there. All right, guys, come over here with the camera. See all that oil and junk down in there? That's a pretty good amount. And you see the baffles and the intake here where it lets the oil drip down into there. But we're gonna go empty this out, and that's just how much oil it actually catches. That would have blowed back into your engine. Come here, we'll get right underneath the light so you can see. All right, we've got the oil dumped out of the catch can, but I just wanted to show you these two pieces with some light. There's the exit and there's the entrance where it blows back into the intake. So, oil catch can goes here. It's held in place by some Allen screws. We're going to put that back on, and we're going to clamp these two hoses in place right there. All right, it'll sit right down in here. Just bring it over, and you can get it into place. Line your screw holes up. And again, these are Allen wrench. Use that light like there if you would like. It's up to you. You just need to change this. You can actually unscrew it. You don't have to take it completely off like I'm doing here. When it comes time to change your oil, you can reach around right here from the bottom and unscrew it. It takes a little bit of finagling, but it can be done. And you don't have to take it completely off. And we're going to get these screws back in place. All right, like I said, the reason I like this kit from Mishimoto is you can take this like so. You can bend your hoses around to the way that you need to. And they're good quality hoses too, by the way. And you push that in till it clicks. And then you have the one here on the top. I'm gonna run these right through the bottom here. And we're gonna push that on till it clicks. And in that way, see your hoses are down here out of the way. Not bothering anything. You can do them however you want to, and then you just bring this back over, and it just pops back into place. And there you have it. Mishimoto oil catch can. You can look them up on their website, and like I said, they have a variety of different models. This one was for the Camaro. They are a little bit more expensive than the regular oil catch cans that you see on Amazon and other websites, but you know that old saying, you get what you pay for. So the other kits that I've tried and looked at, you have to cut the hoses, you don't get the quick disconnects, it's a lot more work. Some of them don't even come with a mounting bracket, but this one was specially designed for the Camaro 6th generation with this bracket, and they knew exactly where they were going to put it. And the other ones I've seen, you get a generic bracket and you have to figure out where you're going to stick it. So back in place. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, guys, that's gonna just about do it for this particular video. Like I say, it was a short and sweet video. just putting these two products back on. This K&N air filter from K&N is real simple to install. You just got to make sure you get the right one for your vehicle. One little note that I did notice, when I carried the car over to the Chevrolet dealership initially, they told me because I had changed this and added this oil catch can that I had is in violation of my warranty. So, but they agreed to do the work if I put it back to stock. So I was able to do that, but while I had it over there, I said, how about just giving me a cold air intake from GM? And the one with the cover on the top of it, real nice looking unit. And they told me that under new regulations, now I haven't been able to confirm this is just what I was told. Under the new regulations that took place last year, if your vehicle did not come with a cold air intake, you cannot modify it and put one on it. They couldn't even sell me a cold air intake. So that's why I came back, put it back to stock, waited till I got it finished, made sure the car was running right, because they replaced the left cat because that racing fuel, I guess, was burning too hot and burnt that catalytic converter up. So I didn't want to have to pay the price of that, because I'm sure it would have been in excess of $1,000. So no worries there. They were happy enough to fix it once I put these other parts back on from the factory. But guys, that's going to just about do it for this video. And I want to say thank you. And if you stayed to the end, I appreciate it. And if you like what you've seen here today, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, claim on that notification bell, let you know next time we put up some new videos. So guys, we'll see you on the next one.